Um, would you help them? Would you throw rocks at Ernie? Would you maybe not friend them, but would you, I don't know, would you drop off a bag of groceries?
I feel like it depends on your status too, because like whatever your status is, it needs to decide on whether you can help them or not. Because what if you're struggling on your own?
Right. Malia, what do we know about everybody else on Hobart Street?
Like they're all kind of strange, I guess. Like I don't want to say all poor, but not all high class either.
Right. They're of a certain neighborhood, right? And so, yeah, they all they're from the mine, right? They all have black lung. Doesn't seem like they're all working, right? We've got that one lady with all of her kids, right? I think they're called the pastors. Pastors. And we had Jeanette was trying to figure out if she was, working at, working the streets, right? And the irony to that was that she had a whole chicken out of her house and she ended up eating, right? So must be the whoring around did some good. Not every day you get to say that word and being a teacher. So, okay. I'm talking about the book, by the way. All right. So, I mean, you know that things are not good. Okay. All right. I'm going to be quiet so you guys can maybe just kind of get in there. Okay. Get in there. Maybe not be friends or maybe be friends. Remember, you're pretending, Lele. So, like, would you leave a random bag of groceries? Like, I'm not sure if I would leave money, but perhaps something else. So Kailoa, go into, yeah, you know where to go. Go into Canvas, the modules discussion. Okay, and as you wrap it up, you can go ahead and now you have access to see basically what other people have been writing about. Very interesting. It'd be really cool for you guys to see other um, kids' responses. Mm, yeah. Okay. All righty. Kailoa, do you see where you're supposed to respond in the text box? Okay. Mm, interesting. Okay. Very cool. Not cool, but like very interesting. Like I you're very right on it would depend on your parents. Like if they told you not to hang out with them or what or interact, you would probably have to follow since they make the money. Very interesting. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and finish up what we have so far and then go ahead and respond to um the kids in our class. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, so go ahead. You can respond to the people in our class and then we'll move on from here. Mm. Interesting, Lele, about the complex, the hero complex. Why? What do you want to say about the hero complex?
I just think that, you know, it's just, it doesn't always help you out and it doesn't always help other people out. There's a lot that can go wrong when you try to be everybody's savior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in my experience, you can't help everyone, and sometimes you just gotta let people be themselves on their own.
Right. Um, and that's really connected to this idea of like sometimes we have these really horrible experiences, right? And sometimes we need those experiences so that we can be strong, right? Look at how strong she is. Um, she can handle, she can figure things out on her own. You know what? We don't have food. I'm gonna go and dig through the trash and get something to eat because these people are taking one bite out of their sandwich and then throwing it away when it was a perfectly good sandwich, right? Or they just throw away their food because they don't want it. Very interesting. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get going. Okay, can we move on? You guys good? Okay. Good, good, good. All right, so let's go on to the next thing we're doing today. Okay. So we are going to be selecting. So this week we're just doing one memoir piece. So you get to select. You can, this choice box right here is a way to kind of figure out what is it that you want to write about next. Okay, so from this choice board, we're gonna select two and then we'll pick from the two for this week. So let's see. Before the next class next week starts, we're gonna complete our third writing piece. So I'm just gonna go through the choices in the box, and then we can move on from here. Okay, so as I'm going over them, I want you guys to take notes on maybe which one would work for you. Maybe pick a top three, okay, as we go through this. So ethnicity and or culture piece, I mean, that would be a really cool piece to write about, especially if you have a newfound or that's what you live and breathe your culture. That'd be awesome to write something about that. A parent piece. I have a couple from my other class who's going to be writing the parent piece, so it'll be kind of interesting. You can go in all kinds of different directions on that. Okay. The dialogue, or favorite saying piece is almost related to the parent piece, right? So if just for a moment you could think about all the sayings you were raised with, right? So, I mean, I asked this one kid in the other class, like, oh, what were some sayings that you grew up with? And he's like, I can't tell you because they're all swear words. I was like, oh, no. But like, so for example, I played a lot of basketball when I was little, and my grandma used to come and watch us play. And every time we took a free shot, it would get quiet, right? Because you're supposed to be quiet when taking free shots or whatever, free throws. And she would always yell, buck, buck, buck. And every time we shot a free shot in, we would get $1. And it was just such an embarrassing thing because as we're like doing our routine and then setting up to shoot, she is yelling just before we release, buck, buck, buck. And it was shame. But it was her, so we couldn't do anything about it. And then if we shot a 3-pointer, we would get $5. So there were some days we walked away with, a good amount of money. And if we hit a winning shot, we may get a $20 bill. I mean, it was just, that's how she just loves sports so much. So I could totally write about buck, buck, buck. And one time she even said spike it, but we were playing basketball, which was even worse. So we were just like, okay, whatever. So, I mean, if you have grandparents that have these funny sayings, it would be fun to write about that. My dad also has this saying, because he's so fluent in Pidgin, it's not even funny. Like, he would say, Bombay Pow. Okay, and Bombay Pow meaning like, just get over it. Like, especially because he's not really an emotion. He's like a really manly man. And so he would, if I would cry, he'd be like, Bombay Pow. And we would be like, what? Like, is that all you have? Like, can we get a little bit more? Like, we need to feel supported here. But I mean, basically, yeah, cry now and then get over it, right? So anybody have a saying they grew up with that doesn't have swear words?
My nana, well, she says like a lot of things,
Yeah.
and like my entire family is so good at impersonating her. But like what she does is like if she's trying to talk to me and she's like calling me for my attention, she'll go through every other kid's name in the family before she says my name.
Right.
And like we all know that. It's like so fun.
And you have to just let her go through the process.
Yep. I'll just be like, I can't say like my name's Tahani. No. I have to wait till it's my turn.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else? Saying.
It wasn't really a whole bunch like a saying that he frequently used, but my grandpa always used to say "Hulimaka flip" like all the time. It was so funny though. Like in whatever situation he was describing, he would just use that.
Yeah. Very good. Anybody else? McKenna, you have a funny one? You have any sayings that you grew up with?
Well, my dad, he always calls me and my sister names. So, me and my sister decided to come up with a name for him. So one day he was calling me in class, and when we were at school, and my phone went off, and I looked at my phone, and his nickname was Billy Goat Joe. And so I was like, "Who's Billy Goat Joe?" So I was like, "Oh, it's my dad." So then when he found that out, he started putting my nickname on my profile, so now all his coworkers know my nickname.
Oh, my goodness. I may or may not have to call him Billy Goat Joe. Cool. Very cool. Anybody else? Sayings. No? Then I'm like, oh my goodness, just repeating the same. My mom's this little Japanese lady that's just like little. And she just says things that are so like, why aren't you putting on weight? It's like, I mean, she'll just call it out. And we're just like, during fourth quarter quarantine while everybody was making masks, right? We had to make one for our other sister, and she was like, I don't think that's big enough. It was like, Mom! Anyway, yeah. So I got that mom. I have that mom, the one that says it like it is. Like, and she's like, why? It's the truth. And she won't apologize. Like, that's just her.
Yeah, for me, my grandma is like, she's kind of old already. She's in her 70s, and she's not Hawaiian at all. She's all like Japanese and stuff, but she says like a whole bunch of Hawaiian sayings all the time. Like, she isn't Hawaiian like at all, but she still says a whole bunch of stuff. And my grandpa, whose dad is literally full Hawaiian, he never talks about Hawaiian stuff. It's so funny.
Well, there's a reason for that, yeah. Like, historically. But yeah, interesting. So he doesn't even speak Hawaiian.
Not really, not as much as my grandma.
Interesting. Too bad. Alrighty, cool. So let's move on. So the dialogue, favorite sayings piece, that might be a fun one for some of you guys. Next, personal portrait piece. Okay, I'm pretty sure somewhere in your middle school career, you probably had something like this, okay? I'm gonna urge you to stay away from regurgitating the same personal portrait piece, and then move deeper into like something like an epiphany or the turning point piece, which is in the middle, okay? And the reason why is you guys actually just hit a milestone being in high school. And so just maybe you can start fresh, yeah? Or do some things that, or undo some things that you maybe have been known for in middle school, right? You can be a new person in high school, which is kind of cool. Okay. The sibling piece. Now I have a number of students that are going to be writing about their siblings. Yeah, Lele's like, heck no, but that's okay. But for me, I think that would be a really good piece for me to write because there's a whole tribe of us sisters. We have 7 sisters and 1 brother. And we all have the same laugh. We sound like laughing hyenas. It's awesome. So, let's see, sibling piece. I mean, you can talk about the most like the craziest fight you've had with your siblings. That'd be a fun one to write about if you ever did that. Definitely, that'd be good. Okay, next, hiding places or hidden treasure piece. This is a fun one. Like, have anybody found something on the ground or something? Maybe you found something cool, like just like, oh my gosh, or like being at the beach and you're like, I found the shell, right? Once when I was at the county fair, I found $12 when I was in high school. That was cool. I think $12 would buy some kind of cotton candy. I don't know. It's expensive, yeah, to go to this.
One time I found like $40 on the ground at like Lukine's before it burned down in Pahoa, you know. That was a great turning point in my life.
Yes. Yep. Anytime, like when you wash your clothes and then you go into the pocket, you're like, yeah, I found $5. Like that might be a program you could get into, save some money. Okay, next, first piece. So the first time you right? We're gonna keep it school appropriate. I don't need to know your personal lives, but maybe something like winning your first game, right? Or I don't know. I don't know how many of you guys made it to the first day of school, period 1, right? The whole day in the same classroom. That was super fun. I'm pretty sure. Did you guys have your melonas? Yep, that helped a little bit. Yep. At some point I gave up asking the kids to do their work. I was like, whatever. Like, what are we gonna do? We might as well watch a movie. Okay. So first, that would be interesting to write about. Next, how many of you guys have pets? Okay. What kind?
Pig and a turtle.
You have a pig and a turtle. What are their names?
My pig's name is Biscuit and my turtle's name is TJ. Oh, and I have a fish, but I keep forgetting about him.
Oh, Biscuit, not Blanket.
Nope.
Cool.
I don't have a dog and a cat. A pig and a turtle.
I noticed. Interesting. Well, Kaya, what about you? What kind of pet do you have?
Dog and chickens.
Oh, yeah. If you live in Panayama, you also have we have all kinds of pet chickens around. It's very interesting. What's your pet's name, Raquel?
My dog's name is Romeo, and my chickens' names are Ahsoka, Brownie, Chili, Tano, and I'm Moana. My sisters named them. And I also had another chicken, but she died because Romeo killed her. He got loose. Her name is Buttercup.
Buttercup. This is interesting. Wow.
It doesn't really work. You have to watch them 24/7 to let them out because the dog is just not.
It's kind of incredible to imagine that because they're like seriously have a mind of their own. They just do whatever. Okay, McKenna, what about you? You have pets?
I have 2 dogs.
Okay. Are they little? Are they big? What are their names?
Our first dog we got, he is older than me. He's 15. So,
Still alive.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And his name is Makali. And then we got my sister a dog, for her 8th birthday. And she is 7. And, her name's Lel.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Anybody else have pets? Okay, Lele?
I have a cat.
Oh, you have a cat.
Yeah. I found her underneath our house, and then my mom said we could keep her.
Oh, how lucky.
Yeah, her name's Spike.
Oh, I used to live up Mountain View, and you know that road that goes up the Steinbeck Highway by the zoo? I was going home one night and I saw these little eyes in the darkness. And there were these tiny little eyes. And I stopped and went back and I found it in the bushes and it was like this big. It was this little cat. Of course, I took it home. I named him Yoda. And then I was like, maybe I should wash him. And all these fleas came off of this little cat. And then I was like, I can't have cats because I have 2 Jack Russells. And Jack Russells are mini hunters. They will, and they wanted to eat that thing so bad that I had to get rid of it. Thank goodness one of my colleagues took it. But I was really sad. Like I'm never ever picking up a stray animal ever again. That was a lesson. Because then you have to do something with them. You can't just like abandon them at the rubbish dump. Okay, next. We have this other topic, I am this way because piece. Like maybe you inherited behaviors and tendencies from like, I don't know, your family members. I don't know, maybe your friends. I don't know, maybe your kumuhula. I don't know, right? And if you want to talk about it, that might be also related to the sayings, right? I'm sure your kumuhula, they have like these sayings, right? Maybe, okay? You can talk about you are this way because, and that might be a fun one to do, okay? Next one, on the day I was born piece. Oh, some of you guys might have some crazy on the day I was born pieces. Yeah, my dad used to be a policeman for like 25 years or so. Back in the day, the day my twin and I were born, he was doing a green harvest. Do you guys know what that is? Green harvest? No? It's when the policemen go in and confiscate certain illegal plants. Okay. And so he got the call that we were being born. And so he had to get on the helicopter and fly to the hospital. Very interesting. That was the day we were born. And then the next piece, teachers are school worries and woes, or maybe joys and triumphs. It's up to you what you want to do with that. Okay. So go ahead. You guys have your two or three pieces you guys are going to choose from. Okay. We're going to select one of those and then you can maybe use the next one for next week. Okay. So as you guys look at this, okay, I want you guys to go down. There are 2 things that I want you to focus on for this week. The first one is dialogue. So do you guys have your notebooks? And I'm going to just have you take notes just for a little bit. The video is pretty self-explanatory, but there are 2 things that I want you to, well, it's kind of like 3 things I want you to focus on, but the first one, I'll just wait so that you guys can take notes. You guys ready? Okay, so we kind of want to stay away from the topic of place because we've like talked about place to death already. Okay, so let's think about other stories we want to tell based on our childhood. Okay, so with dialogue, so go ahead and write the word dialogue. Okay, the first thing about dialogue that I want you to focus on is that it has to be purposeful. Okay, you're only going to be adding in maybe like 3 or 4 lines. Okay, maybe 4, maybe at the most like 6. It just depends on what you're going to do, but it has to be purposeful. Like you're not gonna add in dialogue just because it's assigned, just because it's a required task for you to do. Like make sure the dialogue is necessary for the story to be told. Okay, where's Malia? Malia, you back, girl? So we just finished talking about the topics and then we're now on dialogue. Okay, so you're gonna watch the video on your own, but I'm just gonna point out 3 things. So we're taking notes. Okay, so number 1, the dialogue needs to be purposeful. Number 2, anytime the speaker changes, you have to start a new paragraph. All right, it's not just like I speak, you speak, I speak, you speak, and it's like one whole paragraph. That's not how it works, right? This signifies that a new speaker is talking, right? I speak, you speak. I speak, you speak, right? So it's different. And you have to indent. So write indent in capital letters. Don't forget to indent, right? Obviously, there's quotations involved in this, okay? And that if you need to place a period or a comma, it always goes to on the inside of the quotation, okay? Did you guys know that? The period and comma always goes inside. I think that's going to be the death of me, correcting punctuation, okay? Next, and this is the last part I really want you to focus on. Write down no S words. Okay, you're not allowed to use said, says, or states. Okay, I was like, what S word? That is like, I say the S word all the time. Just joking. All right, so what I want you to do is start a new tab. Start a new tab, okay, and then write down other words for said. And then there should be a list of other words that pop up. Okay, so start a new tab and just type in other words for said. So there's a little shift in the tone when you say something like hypothesized or mentioned or imagined, right? Because it's different, right? The words mean something different. So this is me challenging you to never use an S word, okay? To always know that, you know, the reader's time is valuable. And so if you're not going to be creating this vivid picture through verbs, then you're wasting their time, right? Said says nothing. It just says they're moving their mouth and there's noise coming out. But if you were to say confirmed, right, it's a little bit different, right? If you were to say something like declared, that means you're going to drop a truth bomb, right? There's a difference. Okay, so I'm encouraging you guys to do that, right? If you need to just use a thesaurus and look for other words besides said, that's easy too, okay? But use that list. That's why you guys have these beautiful computers, okay? Use it for all it's worth. Last one. Okay, so go back into Canvas and then let's check out the next thing. So the second focus of this week's memoir piece is the use of transitions, right? So go ahead and click on the transitions link. It says list of transitions. So if you scroll all the way down, there's the time, chronology, sequence list, and it's down below, okay? I want you guys to use these transitions to really glue together the events of your memoir piece, okay? What do we have here? Something like what? Yeah, prior to blah, 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 we did this, right? Make it interesting. Don't make things so, what do you call that? Easily predictable, okay? Throw a twist in there, okay? Yeah, we know if we go to the grocery store, we're gonna come out with groceries. But what if you come out with nothing, right? It's kind of like going to Target. If you have yourself going into Target, guarantee you're gonna be pushing a cart full of stuff you don't need. Am I right? Yeah. Let's just start with that dollar section as soon as we walk through those sliding doors. Who knew I needed a bunch of glow sticks? Right? Okay, so there's that. Okay. All right, so dialogue and transitions. Good to go? Okay. Next. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys watch these videos, take notes, and then write your memoir piece. Okay, hit the next button. So this is the end piece. I'm trying to give you guys I'm trying to give you guys, again, not like overloading you guys with work, but like giving you guys things that are crucial to your learning. Okay, so this piece by Langston Hughes is called Dreams Deferred. Does anybody know what deferred means? Okay, look it up, hurry up. Just type it in there. What does deferred mean? Give me a synonym.
Postpone.
Postpone. What else?
Delay.
Delay. Okay, so obviously you have dreams. Dreams should be a really good thing, right? But when you have to postpone it, there's this certain like mood that comes out of that, right? It's the oh shucks next time, right? So what happens when you oh shucks next time your dreams, right? What happens when maybe you put your dreams on hold forever? Okay. What happens when somebody does that for you? What do you do, right? So this short poem, right? The instructions, well, first of all, the question is, how does this poem, Dreams Deferred by Langston Hughes, connects to Jeanette's journey in the glass castle? Okay, so once you're done with this section, then go to this poem, okay? I've given you guys a link so you can hear it as well, but I'm gonna have you guys kind of deconstruct the poem. So obviously you would look up the word deferred. You're gonna jot down the definition for deferred, okay? And then what happens to a dream deferred, okay? Now, there's one thing that you can kind of look at. If you just look at the poem, what do you see? This is a poem of what?
Metaphors.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, totally. What else? What ending punctuation do you see?
Questions.
Yeah, right. So as you guys know, question statements are called interrogative sentences, right? In meaning interrogate. So interrogative statements are questions. And so when you look at this poem, it's a poem that has a list of questions, right? Why? Right? What happens to a dream deferred? I mean, the first question, right? Don't you want to answer it? Okay. But then there's more questions that follow it. And so what's the purpose of only having questions? Anybody? McKenna, what do you think?
Maybe to get the reader into like in their mindset to maybe answer those and maybe see from their point of view how they might be feeling. Like maybe they asked those questions to themselves earlier.
Right, maybe those questions are within them. Very good. Okay, Lele, I invite you to drop some knowledge here.
Knowledge about what? I don't know where we're at right now. I accidentally.
We are together in period 5 on Zoom, and we are on the last part of the module, the introduction to Jeanette making it to New York. So we're talking about the Dreams Deferred poem. Do you see it? Yeah.
So what was the question? Sorry.
I don't remember. What was the question?
I don't know.
Why does he ask the questions in the poem?
Yeah, why? You're like, I didn't even read it yet. Oh my gosh. Okay. Malia, what about you? What's up with these questions?
Well, like McKenna said, it's like a different viewpoint of what he's talking about. And it probably makes the reader question it too. I don't actually know why he put it like that.
We all have our own answers. right? Once you postpone your dreams, I think the last thing we need is for somebody to tell us how to get them back. Maybe we do, I don't know, right? But isn't that part of the question? Like, well, what happens then? Now what, right? And perhaps because he's posing these questions is that we have to find the answer for ourselves, which is kind of cool. Okay. So what does this poem have to do with Jeanette, right? So you guys go ahead in your tablets. Let's go ahead and already make this Venn diagram, the beautiful Venn diagram. Okay, so one circle is going to be for the dreams deferred. Okay, you're gonna pick out things that come out of the dreams deferred as far as details and maybe even mindset you can talk about. And then on the right-hand side will be the glass castle. Okay. And then you're gonna just do some analysis on, is there any part of this that connects? Okay, any part of the poem connects to Jeanette's journey. Okay. So as she heads to New York, you're going to read about her turning point. Okay, you're gonna read about her like epiphany, so to speak. Okay, any questions? No? Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna let you guys go so that you guys can start working on either reading or writing. Okay, and then from what I hear, like I'm hearing some mixed things about just your guys' class in general. Most of it's good though, but there's some of you guys maybe not doing so well turning in things on time. So just a friendly reminder to make sure you turn in things on time. Yeah. Is anybody finding that they submit something after the due date and on your end you can see it, but then the teacher can't see it? Is anybody encountering that? No? Okay. Just asking. Alrighty. Okay, if we don't have anything else, yes, I'm gonna encourage you guys, do some membing, do a session of membing, or start writing your next memoir piece. Okay, good? Or you can just start reading, doesn't matter. All good? So nice to see you guys. Kylo, can I talk to you after everybody goes? Kylo?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, you guys, I'll see you guys later. Email me if you need. Shooties. Okay. Hi, Kylo.
Hi.
Your mom is Lovey then? That's her name?
Yes.
Okay, so she just emailed me asking about your assignments. What did you tell her?
Um, the writing that you told me to do, the memoir. I was working on that last night.
Did you finish anything that I can grade?
I can write. I need to finish like a paragraph or so. Then I'm done with the memoir.
You're done with one of the memoirs.
Yeah.
Okay. So this week, at the end of this next week, I mean, we have 3 memoir pieces to write, right? These short little stories, right, of our childhood. Okay. What about the glass castle? How are you doing with that?
I kind of fell behind on it. I was working with some of the other teachers, and I started falling on the reading.
Right. Yeah. Because what I emailed your mom was that I think for the last like 4 weeks we've been working on an individual level so that we could try catch you up. Yeah. And I've opened up assignments multiple times, and there's still missing assignments. Okay, so I told her I was getting kind of worried because I'm not sure like how you're gonna be able to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like if you don't read, then you can't do the assignments, right? But you probably can do the memoir pieces because that's just from you, which is fine. But I need you to get to reading. So have you been listening to the memoir on the audiobook?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm still kind of finding where I'm at. I think it's long, and I gotta get the times right.
Yeah. Well, whatever it takes. I mean, you got to move the thing over and then just read a little bit so that you get your bearings on where to start from. Okay. But let's see. Yeah, I'm just kind of worried. Okay. Need you to do your work. Can?
Okay.
Alrighty. And then what? Are you on Membean? Are you doing your Membean?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, that's good. And you can earn extra credit points for um doing good work on Membean. Okay, if you get 80% accuracy or above.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you going to be working on tomorrow? Because I'm going to meet up with you tomorrow as well.
Um.
Can you try and finish 2 assignments?
Yeah, I can probably. I don't have any other work to do today, so I have that.
Okay. Okay. Let's do 2 assignments and then I'll check in with you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye, buddy.
Bye.
Lele, you need something. You got to unmute. Can you hear me though? Yeah, just go back to that first page in this week's module and just do those. Okay? Okay. Bye.